Welcome to Vintage Gay, where some old queen talks to his friends. I have a treat for you today. One of my favorite people, a big, bright, beautiful light in the drag community and the sober community. I love her. She is the winner of season two, Project Drag. She has an Emmy for season 15, RuPaul's Drag Race. The beautiful, the delightful, the funny, just love her. Salina Estities. Hey, hey, you're gay. Aging is a privilege. Did you go by, wasn't it Salina STDs at the beginning and then it turned into Salina Estities?
It was always STDs, but when you say it with a little spice, STDs, it sounds like STDs. So that was like the little secret
Oh my
pun if you caught it.
God. Because I swear at the beginning, I was like, I told Margaret that. I said, I think at the beginning, this is what it was called. And she was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because I would say stuff like, oh, I'm infectious and I'm going viral and you can't get rid of her. STDs.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And now you opened for Margaret at the Improv and did 5
Ah,
minutes.
that
You
was
were
crazy.
amazing.
I felt like I was rushing because I'm long-winded. So 5 minutes was like, but in the comedy stand-up world, 5 minutes is a lot for people. But I was ready to keep going and going,
Yes.
Energizer Bunny.
Yes, and we were ready. All of a sudden it stopped, and I was like, "Oh, I want more." It was so good and
I
so
was
brave.
I was so happy you were able to be there for that moment because that was my first time, at the Hollywood Improv. I've been stepping into stand-up where I can, and I've done one real booking live set before, and this one was like the next level, which was
Yeah.
sickening. It was so cool.
I went with Margaret to Danny's first one, and then this one I saw you on the flyer, and I was like, "I want to go." And so what a great thing.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it's like such, especially as there's so many drag queens in the world today, like everyone's trying to be a star. Like you really have to find different pockets that you can be
Yeah,
good at. And I feel like this, also with being sober and sharing,
yeah.
we have 3 minute shares and meetings and stuff. Like it's easy for me to talk about myself. So to write jokes into that is so much fun. And then, stand up lends itself to it so easily. And there's a lot of sober people in stand up actually.
There is,
Yeah.
and and killing it too. Like there's
Hmm.
because every time Margaret does something, you see there's sober people in the lineup, and I was like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
cool. I asked Margaret, I told her, um, I said, Selena's going on the is going to come on the podcast today, and I asked her question. I said, "What should I ask her?" So these are
Ooh.
questions from Margaret Cho.
Oh my goodness.
She says, "Ask her, um, who is her drag mother, family, or lineage? Does she have it?"
I don't. I don't. Jasmine Nicola,
Yeah.
Miss Jasmine. She is not my drag mother, but when I first moved into this apartment, because this factory of clownery is, it was the sober hub for all the little kids when all first got sober. We would all move in here, they would move out and relapse, or go to rehab, and but they transition here and then go find their homes afterwards. So this was like the little hub of sober young kids back in the day when I first met
Mhm.
you.
Okay.
And Jasmine one day was like, "Oh, the children are in this apartment." So she drove by and honked her car and she threw a giant trash bag of drag at us and said, "Here, queens, enjoy." And there was this fringe outfit, three pairs of high heeled like stiletto boots, some sequin dresses, and we would just roam around the apartment wearing it. And that's really how the exploration of that started. And then Best in Drag came into the picture. But I was always a performer, so I don't necessarily have a drag family or drag mother. But I think Project Drag, the competition you were talking about, Raven and Morgan were great judges. They're drag queens from Drag Race. They were the judges. They really like laid it on us. So I learned a lot during that. But I don't have a drag mother or drag family, I would say.
All right. Shout out to Jasmine. Jasmine.
I love Jasmine.
Um, Which drag competition would she most like to win? A pageant, All Stars, or Miss Universe?
I would love to win All Stars. I would love to win All Stars just to
See,
go back and redeem myself and have the Mama Rue's stamp of approval would be like a dream come true.
she is my favorite thing. She comes on my TikTok and now all the time in her unhinged like videos and her wig's on backwards and she's got post-its on her head.
She looks
She's got
crazy.
pantyhose and things tied. And I'm like, just
I love
pure
it.
joy.
Yeah,
That
just
woman brings me joy.
silly and stupid, and like,
And
oh,
just like, oh, unhinged. It is so, it just puts the joy in it changes my mood. I love her. All right. Where is drag now in her life? Does she want to do more comedy, more TV drag race, or touring as a reigning queen?
right now where I see myself is like heading a lot more in TV and film. Like I want to do more acting stuff, and for drag queens, there's not a lot of roles for us to play necessarily, and they usually go to the girls who are a little more popular, a little more
Yeah.
with more clout, you would say these days. Right now I'm creating a lot of projects for myself, a lot of like movies, short films, plays, musicals. Like I'm writing my own work. And like stand up is all part of that, and exploring with my writing. And I kind of want to step more into TV and film stuff. But of course, in order to do a lot of that, you have to create it yourself. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, is to be a pure Hollywood girl.
Oh, see, well-rounded woman in
Yes.
the business. Who are her drag inspirations, both drag queens and female?
My drag inspirations. Okay, you know what's a really big inspiration for me? Are female backup dancers. So like I'm not even kidding. Like when you see J Lo perform or Beyonce perform or like any Katy Perry, like when you see these queens perform, the girls behind them, their style, their fashion, how sexy they look when they're hitting choreography, their like sex that they serve,
Ah,
that is inspiring to me. Sometimes not even the main queen, it's the divas behind them that I love. That really inspires me.
oh, wow, I love that. What are we going to do in order to stay sane during the time of horrible homophobia and anti-drag sentiment from MAGA? What
Oh
do
my
we?
goodness. I think what I've been doing is not ignoring it, right? Because it's everywhere. You can't ignore it. It's everywhere. You open up your phone, you step outside, it's just like everywhere. You can't avoid it. So I think finding joy in those videos, like what RuPaul is doing and the stupidity of life, I think it's like leaning into that silly things that bring joy, like a Labubu brings me joy. So I'm gonna open up this little stupid thing and I'm gonna look at it and dress it in a wig, and then I'm gonna be so happy, and then I'm gonna turn around and be like, oh, America, Jesus. But you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think it's just finding pockets of joy for yourself.
How long does Selena take to get into makeup, hair, tuck, and looks? What's the fastest you've ever got into drag, and what's the longest? Um, how long does it take you to get out of it?
Mm.
It depends on
I
the
like to give
trade,
my
girl. Depends on the trade.
Depends on the trade after the gig. I I like to give myself 3 hours, 2 hours to paint, and an hour to like take my time and get ready. Like I like to take my time, but I can get ready in an hour and a half. But the fastest I've ever gotten ready was I was in Texas for a Pride gig, and the next day I had to do Colorado Denver Pride. I was the headliner with Big Frida, and I flew that morning at 8 a.m., landed in Colorado at 12:30 p.m., and the show was at 2. So we had to get to the hotel. I painted so fast, maybe in 45 minutes. I got all dressed up and I went and right to stage and performed my set. And it was crazy. So that was the fastest I ever painted. And it was the biggest audience I've ever performed for. I felt like a stadium. Colorado, Denver Pride. It was crazy. I felt like a superstar in that moment. And with the fastest space that I've ever done. Thank God everyone was so far away. It was really iconic. It was so cool.
Oh my God. See, I love that. I love that you had that experience and that this is where your life is today. Like
It's
that.
crazy because
So cool.
everyone who's listening, I met Kenny, um, like when I was just a baby and I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't even doing drag yet. I was just roaming around trying to be a
You and your
dancer.
girlfriend, were doing, um, we're starting, and
Hmm.
your roommate, and someone called me and said, your roommate, Nick at the time,
Nick. Hmm.
he was you guys wanted to do drag, and he wanted to go buy makeup, and would I take him because I
He
was
didn't
a
know anything.
clown.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
remember taking him to the mall, and I was like, try these shoes on. And he was like, I can try on heels. And I was like, in the Beverly Center. And I was like, yeah. And so we're in there walking back and forth. And it was like, you saw this thing go on in her. And I was just like, oh, this is just, I know that joy of a high heel. I know that joy
Hmm.
of an eyelash. Like, I know that joy. Like, I don't know. I was more,
I just posted I just posted a video dancing with Bob the drag queen. We were out of drag, we're boys, and I was wearing like a football jersey. I was giving boy drag, masculine drag. And I think a part of him knew that I was trying to present too masculine. So he was like, why don't we do this dance in heels? So we threw on some heels and we did the little dance in heels. But like full masculine boy except for the heels. And we're drag queens, so I dress up in drag and I give the feminine illusion all the time. But to see the masculine with just the heel, I think that sparked so much joy in people because it went really, it's very popular. Like the artist we danced to reposted it, so it was like it's like I think there is something about like the joy and silliness of like, oh my
just
god, look
playing
at this.
dress up.
Yes,
I got out of,
exactly.
I was cleaning I was cleaning my house, and so I took a shower because I had like it smelled like I smelled like cleaning supplies. So I took a shower, and I had a pair of heels set out, and I was gonna get rid of them, and I was in my towel, and I just put on the heels and vacuumed my house. Like
Oh my
no one
god,
knew. Like just vacuuming. Like, oh,
just
like an
silly,
old gay
truly silly.
woman, just happy.
Huh.
When no one was looking. Um, what's the okay, here we go. Margaret's number 7. Um, best things to do on nights out of drag.
Oh my God. My favorite things to go to the movies.
Okay.
I love going to the movies. I love cinema. I love I like just relaxing. The drag takes a lot of energy when I'm on and when I'm out in the club. So I love just chillaxing and laying back. I've been crocheting. It's a little side like hobby I've been doing. So crocheting has been fun and like therapeutic. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks and I've been meditating every morning. Like I've been trying to get really in my spiritual, sense of self lately. And that, it's funny, Kenny, because like, as I get more spiritual, as I mature, as I grow up, like I'm finding I get I get in fear that I become boring. Like a lot of my personality relied on my insecurities and my like, you know, um what's the word I'm looking for? My shortcomings.
Mhm.
Like a lot of my personality comes from those, right? So as I like cleanse myself, do the work, and become spiritual and centered, I'm like, am I a boring person now that I'm not crying about this or that? So it's funny, and like I think back to a lot of like my like child self and what brought me joy when I was little, and a lot of that stuff still brings me joy today. So I'm like, oh, I find more of my authentic self when I think about what those things are, and like it's interesting. So a lot of my time out of drag is spent like just kind of trying to center and find who I am today, because for a lot, the drag can be very much like armor, who I become, and very confusing, right? So I'm trying to make sure I never lose myself and I bring myself to my art as much as possible. So she's not just a character that I play.
And it's hard. It's hard to separate the like when I first got sober, it was like I was so used to putting on a mask or a costume or something while I was dying on the inside. And so now
Mm-mm.
it's like fun to put on like clothes and just be, you know, authentic in your gayness,
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
everything, just like getting older and just I don't know. It's like our spirit has shown up and we're so
Hmm.
fucking lucky. Like, and it
Yeah.
just, yours is shining so bright. You know what I mean? Like it just, and like you said, a lot of people have come and gone in on our sober journey, and and you stayed, and
Yeah.
and you are like your light is so bright because you never really dimmed it.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. It's like a lot of my crew and people that I got so because I got sober when I was 21,
Yes.
and a lot of the kids that were getting sober with me, a lot have passed away, a lot have relapsed and they haven't come back. And I always ask myself, and I'm like, why am I the one that's still doing this? Why am I the one that's continuing? I could easily jump off the bandwagon as well, but I'm like, look what happens to my life when I stay here. And the more I do, I realize too, it's like, oh, I get to be the one who's doing it, who made it. You know what I mean? So then my friends who I'm like, I don't see anymore, I can't talk to anymore, who blocked me, I blocked them because it's crazy town. I don't know where some of them are. It's they're off, they're in it. I would hope that maybe they can look over one day and like my dream is they see me in a movie or on a billboard and they're like, oh, I should come back. Like I don't know, who knows?
No, and I'm sure we both have been the call from the dark. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And I
mm,
don't want to be a call from the dark. Like I don't. I know what
mm-mm,
it's like to live
mm-mm.
in that dark, and I know what it's like to live in all those fears. And so even this was scary because I was like, oh, it is, I don't know. It just I liked being a stylist and like buckling and zipping things to last like whatever instead of I don't know, being in it. And so,
Yeah.
wow.
But you have so much experience, especially from your day of like, you know what I mean? Like you have so much that's brought you to this point that gets to be shared too, and I think it's valuable for people to hear that.
And I'm so like I talked to Genitalia and Richie Rich on here and like old club kids and it is just like I am so grateful I went to clown school. Like and like you know what I mean? Like I I'm not curious about being young again. Like I got to see what I got to see and participate and I don't know. It's exciting. Now I just like
Mhm.
watching like other people. You know what I mean? Like see you do your 5 minutes and and I don't know. And everyone like living in their creativity.
Yes.
And um I saw that dance with you and Bob. It's cute.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about where we were in heels. That
Yes.
was the one.
Margaret loves Bob.
Oh, I love Bob so much. He's like an older brother to me. And like I'm just grateful that he's like in my orbit and like takes me in.
So here's the last question from Margaret. Besides yourself, who is the very best queen? Who's the most flawless in your opinion?
RuPaul is my queen. RuPaul is my mother. I love Ru, and I know you have. Do you know Ru? Back in the day, were you
When
guys
I
running the same
moved to New
circles?
York, the second week I was there, I went to the Pyramid Club and saw her do Star Booty on a go-go box because I
Ah,
think there was a stage. And
oh,
I was just like, I love her. My favorite drag queen is Lady Bunny because I could just listen to her talk forever. Like she is, I say that all the time. Like like she just, when I was new, I could just like in my early 20s, she would perform, but she'd talk. And I was just mesmerized by just her and her shit talking and her humor and everything about her. Like she's still to me like the one.
your queen. Like with Ru too. It's like he built this machine,
Yes,
right? This legacy for herself
yes.
that's given so many opportunities for people like me, and not just me, even like designers and wig stylists and like everyone that contributes to the queens who go on the show. It's a big community and like she's created and built this, not alone, obviously. She has a big army of friends and people who helped her get there as well. But what I love is like I read a lot of her books and I'll reread them over and over again. And like like one book of hers is literally a blueprint on how to become RuPaul. Like she's talking about how she got to the place she's at. So I look at her book and I read her journey as a blueprint for how I navigate in order to be as successful, an ounce of success that she has. It's like that's who I look up to, and I pay attention, and I follow the rules now. You know what I mean? And I just do what they've done, and I try to act as if, and then like things snowball and happen in a cool way because I trust that it's going to because I'm putting in the work, and it's cool. I just look up to her so much, and like everything that we do on Drag Race, like all the little challenges and stuff, they're all stuff that Rue's done in the past, like in TV shows and skits in the bars, like everything she did before she became RuPaul's Drag Race, we're doing now. So like everything that I'm doing, that I used to do, run around the apartment and put on shows and all this stuff is that's what I'm doing today. Now I get, it's cool. It's like I don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's been made. So like let me just try to ride the bike.
I asked Simon, who was one of at the beginning was a pit
Pit
crew.
crew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, because I said me and Margaret haven't really watched it and we want to watch it. And where should we start? And he said anywhere from 3 to 6 or 3 to 7
Yeah.
or
Yep.
four.
Those are like the legacy seasons that are so good. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, because he's in it. Like he still goes every Friday night to his friend's house, and it's like an event. It's so great
Yeah.
that this is like cool. Like people love it, and drag is
Hmm.
celebrated and applauded. And so, how can you not love that? So
Yeah.
thank you to RuPaul. You know what
Yeah.
I
One
mean? And
thousand percent.
it's it is, yeah, 1000% joy. That woman brought joy in a pandemic and in everyone's lives. I would love to say gay people, but everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves it. Straight people watch it. Straight guys watch it with their girlfriends like it's a football show. It's so good.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions, some drag
Okay.
race questions then. Favorite season?
Favorite season of Drag Race. I think the one that stands out to me the most is the one that had Alexis Mateo. I
Okay,
think it's season 3.
okay.
Yes, I love
I'll tell
her.
Margaret. Maybe we'll start with that one.
It's a good season. Or watch my season, season 15.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that on TikTok because that's when the
Yeah.
TikTok was moving, was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
popped up.
totally.
Um, you know who pops up is who pops up that I've watched enough that I really like I would have hung out with in like if she was back when I was
Sasha Colby?
no
No.
who I love.
Uh-huh.
The Russian one.
Plain Oh, Katya. Yes.
Katya. I
1000%.
love Katya. Like that's she's from my planet. I hope
She's a
she's not
cuckoo.
offended. I hope she doesn't get offended that I said that.
Not at all. She knows she's a cuckoo bear.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she's
love
so funny.
he pops up and in my pandemic. And I was like, and so I would just then she showed up all the time because I'd watch like a couple of them. And I was like, yeah, I think Katya um is the probably the one that I would have been friends with. Like,
Yeah, 1000%.
um, I hope she's not offended that I said that. Okay. Um,
Not at all.
favorite look of all seasons that a queen did.
Ooh.
Or who
Oh
was the
my
first to
God.
do something that's now a tradition?
Well, the one that stands out to me the most is there's a queen named Violet Chachki, and I believe her step down um after her season when she was giving away the crown, she came out in this big ass spider blue gown. It was beautiful. So I think that one stands out to me the most. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a I've never been a fashion girl. I was always a performer clown. I'm like here to make you laugh. Like look what I can do. And then when I did Drag Race, I was like, oh, I have to work on fashion. That was like a hello surprise to me because that was never my forte. So I've had to really like up my fashion sense and do my homework and learn what looks good and on my body too. So that's been a big journey for me is the fashion aspect.
Girl, I liked the outfits, but the eyelashes would slide down my face. Like I couldn't do the makeup. I had to learn. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
blend. I was one of those things. I dress like a lobster and just like use my fingers like to paint
Yeah.
at the beginning. I didn't know. It took me a minute to be able to do an eyebrow and glue on a lash and but yeah. So I was the opposite. And I couldn't lip sync. Like that wasn't my thing. Like someone
Mhm.
would do, I'd be like, they do Pete's dragon and I'd be the dragon. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
totally.
they're like, grab Kenny. But um, what season do you think me and Margaret should watch, would you say?
I would say start with three or fifth, or if you want to watch my season, 15. But
15.
three, six, and eight, I think, are my favorites. But six is really good.
That's the one Simon was on, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is that the one where Bianca Del Rio won?
yeah. Number six, yeah, that's the
Uh,
one.
she's so lovely. I met her out of drag at something. I had to do the door for something and it was shortly after she won. And I was
Hmm.
just I didn't like I just thought, who is this bright light just telling jokes
Pres
so funny in the middle of the
Presence,
street.
yeah,
So
she's the
lovely.
best. She's
Yeah.
the best.
Favorite lip sync by a contestant.
Mm, there's a very popular lip sync by "Shut Up and Drive" by Rihanna with Alyssa Edwards.
Mhm.
That one is iconic.
So there was a question someone asked someone on the that showed up on my TikTok and on my gay TikTok, and they said, "Who was your favorite trade of your season?" So I'm gonna ask you that. Who's the trade of your season?
I think today it's
You would
me.
be.
I've
Are you
lost a
kidding?
lot of
I
weight.
saw that. I saw the transformation, and I said, "She's starting to do her podcast as a boy now. Is she go like she must be getting people are sliding into her DMs or something."
Well, I just deleted Grinder, so if anyone wants to slide in, feel free to.
Okay, here, it's your time to do your PSA for your for dating for the
Well,
DM.
I was almost 300 pounds. I didn't realize how big I was. And my mom had passed away. The show was airing. The fans were really nasty to me. I was dealing with my ex had relapsed, and my best friend was, I mixed a friend and business together, and that did not go well. So I had a lot going on. And when my mom passed, the show died down, and a boyfriend left. I cut out the friend. I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I'm a walrus. I've been doing the work. I eat my chicken and rice and I go to the gym every day and I just try to, I'm spiritually fit. I'm getting centered again, discovering who I am without the boyfriend, without the best friend, without my mom. Like I'm like, okay, let's start over, fresh, clean slate. And so I've lost about 100 and so like 20 pounds. I'm like, just trying to be present for whatever's supposed to happen. And then, that's why I deleted Grinder recently. Cause I don't drink or do drugs anymore. So like my vice or quote unquote vice or like my escapism, my drink after work is scrolling on Grinder and hunting and looking and cruising and like that gets me to a place and then I abuse it, like an alcoholic addict does. And I realize that I'm like, oh, this is not good. Let me put that away so I can focus on what I should focus on. So that's where I'm at right now. I deleted it literally 2 days ago. So she's fresh, honey. she's she's fiending.
Oh my God, I love you. I love you. Who is the most welcoming to you into the drag world? Like who, when you, or even the franchise or whatever.
Hmm. Two people reached out to me during my season. When I did Best in Drag Show, I did a character Maria Lopez, the pregnant chola from East LA, and she was loud and she's like, "Oh my God!"
Didn't
So
she give
Salina,
birth in a pool?
so I had a pool as my reveal for my swimsuit, and then I gave birth as my talent show. But the pool had a sonogram of the baby on it. I threw the pool down and I got in it, and my water broke because I was pregnant. That's why I had a little kiddie pool. But she was kind of the inspiration for my drag persona, Salina. And when I brought that character to the show, a lot of the fans did not like that. They did not vibe with it. They're like, why is she so loud? She has a fake voice, da 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 da. And I'm like, well, yeah, my drag is like a character. Like, I don't understand the problem here. So I got a lot of hate. And Laganja reached out to me. Do you know Laganja Estranja?
I saw her perform at the last benefit for
Mm.
that
Mm-hmm.
Margaret did. She was one
Oh,
of the
fantastic.
yeah.
Laganja reached out to me and she was like, "Hey sister, I see the comments and stuff and I just want to let you know that you're amazing and being loud has given me a career for that I'm still pumping today after all these years. So like don't let them bother you and you keep doing you." And then also Jinx Monsoon reached out to me and was so sweet. She welcomed me to the sisterhood and that was like a very, very, very kind gesture from her. And she also included me in a skit once that she was filming. So like yeah, Jinx and Laganja were the ones to reach out to me when I first started, and it was really, really fantastic.
Ah, you know who pops up on my thing? I don't know if you know her, but she pops up on my. I was telling Margaret about it the other day. Delta Work.
Oh yeah, she's
I just love the
fantastic.
sound of her voice. Like she could tell me, like she could just read to me a recipe or how to
Mm-hmm.
make a grilled cheese sandwich or like,
Mm-hmm.
bake banana bread. The way that she talks is just so calming to me.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah, she, what season was she on?
Delta was in the earlier seasons. I can't don't remember. I want to say maybe two, three, or four. I
Okay.
don't remember, but she's in the earlier seasons.
She pops up that on, I think Margaret also went on her podcast.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
That's it.
That's all.
That's all. That's
Oh,
all.
thank you, Kenny. I'm sorry it took so long for me to come here. I had a busy summer.
You did. Wait, tell me what you did this summer. Like what drag has brought to your life. Like, because there's joy in drag and there's joy
Yeah.
in getting to be creative as a business.
Yeah, I'm filming a lot of like sizzle reels, proof of concept short films. I was touring a lot for Pride because Pride is the very busy month. So I was in DC. I'm going to Hawaii next month for their Pride. And yeah, just working a lot of different Pride gigs with brands. I was in New York doing a Pride gig. So I'm just stay. I love working. I love performing, and that's just what I'm going to keep doing. So that's the goal.
The world is a better place with you in it. I will give
Oh,
you
you
that.
with you too, Kenny.
I
I
love
appreciate
you. And
you.
thank you for taking the time to do this for my 25 subscribers.
I love it. Listen, we all with 25, that's where we start.
I love you and thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Kenny. I'll
I
see
love
you.
you. Hey, hey, you're gay. Aging is a privilege.